boss, go fuck yourself. You're not going to win. I'm going to ban you every time. And report you too. And if you keep it up, I'm going to demand your information from Twitch, and I'm going to charge you with criminal harassment. I'm in Canada. That has teeth here. And hello and welcome to Chapter 3 of the Epic Team Up. I am here with my friends and colleagues, Basic Dragon, Eli Quake, and of course I am Sable Erradia, aka Diane Morrison, and everybody here, at least in part, goes by they, them pronouns, so if you're using that, you cannot go wrong. So, here we are! Today is my book release day!
Yay!
Yeah! I'm going to do a couple of giveaways today, guys. We're going to start with that. So I'm going to run a giveaway through... Oh, I think I have to edit the giveaway because I didn't say how long it was going to run for. But the first giveaway I'm going to do is for anybody in the chat, though you must be a follower to win. There are extra tickets for subscribers. That is, of course, a brand new sparkling ebook copy of A Few Good Elves in your choice of PDF, Mobi, or EPUB, or all three. I don't care. You can have them all. Doesn't bother me at all. Right? You tell me what you want when you win. And I'm also going to do a thing that they often do in Facebook book release parties, which is that if you can provide me a proof of purchase in some form, right? Screenshot, image of your, you holding up your device, whatever, that says that you have purchased an e-copy of A Few Good Elves, then I will enter you into a draw to win a signed hardcover, which I will send anywhere in the world. So those are the 2 giveaways. The second one is not being conducted by Streamlabs. It will be more informal, so I will keep reminding people throughout the stream today. I will put the link here to A Few Good Elves now, so that if you want to pick up an e-copy and get in on that draw, you can. And I'll type it in the chat, too, to make sure that everyone gets a chance here. Ebook, show me a proof of purchase, and I will enter you in a draw for a signed hardcover. There we go. And there's the link if anybody cares to get in on that. And if you've already bought it, then, show me that too, right? That, it's not like as of now, right? It's been live since midnight my time last night, so almost 12 hours now. So, all right, so let's get into it. I'll start the giveaway here officially. Giveaways. Right, go to that thingy. I have to edit this, I think, because like I said, it didn't say how long it was going to be. Yeah. Giveaway run for 30 minutes.
No, that's too short.
We're not doing that. We're running for 3 hours. The stream isn't going to quite last 3 hours. I have to quit in enough time to let Aaron get on, and he starts at 2. So, here we go. We're going to start that giveaway too. Thank you, Shy. Yay! Shy says, happy release day, Sable. We'll say hi to everybody. Who's all here? We have Siobhan first in the chat.
Hey, Siobhan.
You win! You beat James! It's awesome. Of course, hello, Right Idea. Right Idea says, by the way, congratulations, Sable, on your book release, and congrats, Eli, on finishing book 3. Yes. Eli did that last night. That is awesome, right? And IFK, I don't know what IFK stands for. I feel old now. IFK as much, I don't know, probably it was mistype, about what you're up to, Basic Dragon, but hi. But we'll find out. Oh, Coffee Quills is here. Hello, Coffee.
I know, I think he means.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
As far as I know, or something like that.
Yeah. Coffee, what are you doing about this hour? You're insane.
Yes.
We love you, and I'm glad you showed up. It's only 3:16 a.m.
Only.
But dialogue. That's great. Hello, Pride Ascending. Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome. Pride is awesome. Always good to see you. Hi, Daz. Yes, the eternal sneak troll tried again. This is beginning to get amusing to me. I'm finding it very funny, actually. You can't out-stubborn me, man. I'm more stubborn than anybody I know.
Yeah.
And Chris is here. Poor Chris says, that's ECC Books in the chat, for those of you who are unaware of who I'm talking to. He says, just had all sorts of tech difficulties on my first ever stream. So I'm here to see how the pros do it and support everyone, of course. As everyone was saying, tech difficulties pretty much go with Twitch streaming.
Yeah, it's true.
There will always be some. You just get better at learning how to deal with them. They don't go away. Yeah, it's not a real stream without tech difficulties, says Daz. Right. Yep, good people getting in on the raffle. That's the way to do it. And hello, Shy Red Fox, who I also said hi to already. That's great. Hi, Chris. Nice to see you. Yay. I'm kind of surprised to see you at this hour, too, but that's awesome. Right? Dan Linnea is here. Good to see you as well. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Barbarossa is here. Awesome. Hello, Barbarossa. And hello, Moonflower. And I think that's everybody.
Hi, everyone.
It's only 2:30 a.m. Just Chris. Yeah. It's awesome. Okay, so where are we at since we last spoke? Let's start with Basic Dragon. How are things with you? Where are you at?
Waiting on the test examples just to check, and then I'm gonna check them and send them in. Send in the orders for the the orders for the people who backed.
Awesome. Can't
I'm
wait.
waiting on that.
Yeah, I
Yes,
know.
cannot
Waiting on
wait.
this stuff is such a pain, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't make the company you're working with do it any faster. So it's like, are you done yet?
Yeah.
How about now?
Yeah, how about now? That's great. Where are you at, Eli?
I am in the formatting pit. I am doing the final formatting. I have let my backers know that if you have not already filled out the backer survey, you need to do it by the end of the week, or I'm just going to put in whatever name you have on Kickstarter.
Yep. Yep, you gotta do that, because I've still got backer surveys that haven't been filled out. I bet that Basic Dragon does too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got 4
I've got
myself, I think.
15. 15!
Aaron didn't fill his out yet, did he?
No, he did. He did.
Okay, good, because I'll kick him. No, I won't kick him, but I will nag him to death. Yeah, cool.
No, he filled it out. He's good. He's good.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I've been busy. Where am I at? The ebooks have been delivered to the backers who wanted those. It was really important to me to try to do that like a few days at least before the official book release, which was a bit of a challenge because formatting was delayed in part because I had email problems. Right, so it's not Courtney's fault that happened. It is mine and my web server, right? But they did get them like 4 or 5 days ago. So you've had an opportunity to read it by now, maybe, right? Maybe. And I've got, oh yeah, the postcards. You have postcards. I have
I have
postcards.
postcards.
Do you have props to show too, Basic Dragon?
No, all is digital until I'm waiting for the test samples.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Sable, did I want your proof here or Discord? That's a good question. Whatever is easiest for you. If it would be easier for you to post a graphic in the Discord, that makes sense. I will. What channel should that go in? Just a second. See, I'm so organized today, right? Like always. But let's see. Why don't we do that in the Toy Soldier Saga channel, and I can delete them later. But that seems to be a good place for them to go. So, and if you're not on my Discord, that's the Discord. So, yeah. Either way, if you'd rather post it here in the chat, that's fine too. And awesome. Pride Ascending says, also, A Few Good Elves is on my phone, and Hindsight is coming with me. Excellent.
Yay. I just got more art. Like, literally just now.
Nice.
Okay, nope, dropped it in your Discord. Perfect, perfect. Yes, excellent. Wonderful. All right, so Pride Ascending is entered in the draw. I'm going to have to write these down with like the old technology of paper and pen. But that is great. All right. So
I'm going to try and show the art, but I don't know if it's going to work.
Okay, no, that's cool. Let's give it a
wait.
try for sure.
Good.
I don't know how visible that is, but
Oh, that's good. Oh, look at that. That is cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
yep.
Your artist is amazing.
Yes, she is. that is not Jesse. That's the person who did the cover.
Awesome. Do they have a link? Maybe people are looking for similar things for their own projects, and it would be cool if they know how they can look up your...
They have an Instagram. Let me find their Instagram real quick.
There we go. Red Idea says to Chris, my middle name is Chris, so we have to be friends now. I don't make the rules. It's awesome.
Hang on.
In the meantime, yeah, I'll talk about, let's see, where was I? Yes, so I got all the ebooks out. I designed the postcards and the bookmarks. I have the postcards back because I was able to print them directly through Canva. And they just, I had like 4 days I had to wait, and that was all, and they sent it to my local Staples to pick up, which was really convenient. But they don't do bookmarks, right? So the bookmarks,
they don't do bookmarks.
They don't do bookmarks. Okay. So I had to take those and make a PDF of them and bring them over to Vistaprint, which is where I've previously been getting this stuff done. And I didn't want to print them all because I didn't know how they would turn out. So I tried one design, and I got the amount I needed for that because it's only like 5 or 6 of them. And so truly limited edition, guys. And then I had that sent. I don't get that till the 13th. When I've confirmed that that worked, then I can do the others. And if not, I'm going to have to come up with something else. Right? So, oh, people need reminders of what our Kickstarters were. Okay.
Right.
We can do that. Okay, so you know what we're going to do? We're going to play the Kickstarter videos, I think.
Okay.
What do you figure? We'll play all 3 of them in succession, just as the reminder. And we will start. We'll do it in alphabetical order. We'll start with Basic Dragons, we'll go with Eli's, and we'll end with mine. So here we go.
Do you want me to tell you a story? There's so much more to tell, and time passes all too quickly here. What was once clear gets harder to see. There is more danger in this world than you can ever know. It was 1.5 years before Cain returned. Things had changed. I had a life and a family again, friends that I cared about. I didn't want to give that up for some fate I hadn't chosen, but I wanted to protect them. Cain taught me how to use my power. I didn't like it. I didn't like the work. I didn't like the secrets. Cain was acting weird, and I hated being kept in the dark. But there is more at stake than I thought. There are still the Avadis, and I didn't know how dark the world could get.
Starting from the beginning, my name is Eli Quake. I am pansexual, polyamorous, and genderqueer. My pronouns are they, them. I have been writing since I was 8 years old. I am dyslexic, ADHD, and stubborn as hell. I wrote Reaper in 2017 during National Novel Writing Month, and Guardian in 2018, also during National Novel Writing Month. Reaper, Book 1 of the Reaper Saga, was my debut novel. It tells the story of Raven, a girl who can fly and see the dead, and her adventures trying to reconnect with her family after her entire town disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Along the way, she made friends, found new family, and learned there was more to her destiny than she could ever imagine. Guardian picks up the story more or less where Reaper left off. It's been a year and a half, and some things have changed, but many things are the same. Raven has settled into her new life in Sky City, and there's only one thing weighing on her mind. Kane is missing. When he finally reappears, everything begins to change, and not for the better. The goal of this Kickstarter is to fund the proofreading for Guardian. Following the success of my Kickstarter in April for Hindsight Being 2020, I have some of the things I need to publish this book. Unfortunately, proofreading isn't cheap. I also need some funding to upload all the files to Ingramspark, the distribution company, for the print copies. This includes the dyslexic edition. If you would like to learn more about the Reaper Saga and Raven's story, I invite you to donate to this Kickstarter and share it wherever you can. Thank you for your support.
Hi there, my name is Diane Morrison, and I'm a science fiction and fantasy author. I'm looking for your help to publish my novel, A Few Good Elves. Three years ago, you guys helped me publish Once Upon a Time in the Weird West, which is a collection of my Weird Western serial stories. And 2 years ago, you helped me to edit and publish Gunsmoke and Dragonfire, a fantasy western anthology. I figure we make a winning team. The Toy Soldier Saga is a fantasy space opera universe. It has all of the elements of space opera science fiction, but everything's done by magic. I don't think there's anything out there that is quite like it. And I really hope that you'll enjoy it and the extended universe that has been created around it.
I am Chris. I play Arian. He's the grizzled older ex-enlisted elf.
Remember, we've only got 30 days to make this happen. With your support, you can have some of the art that's been created for the books, you can have the stories, the ebook, a trade paperback copy, a hardcover copy, you might be able to get them signed. You could even get the entire collection of everything that I have previously published or been published in. Thanks in advance for your support, and thank you for listening. And we're back. Yeah, everybody loves the Space Goats and Gnome Wall. I haven't written the Gnome Wall article yet, but it's going to happen. Either that or maybe I'll ask Siobhan to make the article, and because she's the one who kind of invented it. So, yeah.
Makes sense.
I may have to write a children's story based around space goats as a concept. Space goats came from Rowan and Darth Vader. right? They saw that, meme that had been online, those goats with the multiple eyes and horns and stuff, and they're like, space goats! And I'm like, that's excellent, because my universe is supposed to have all that kind of weird. It's perfect. So, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Oh, Chris says, those were all great, though it reminded me that I think I missed Eli's Kickstarter, so we'll have to buy the book later. Sorry. Well, we need to sell the books, too, right?
Yeah.
And if you miss the Kickstarter, it's okay. That's the other way that you can support it. Well, okay, actually, I think Basic Dragon has done everything exclusively through Kickstarter for production, right? So if you missed those Kickstarters, you were SOL. But okay.
I will have a third in January, so
Yeah, awesome.
you can get them all done.
Right, because you're usually including, and you can get the other two as a package. So there you go. There you go. January, that's how you do that, right? Eli and I have books that are going, like mine's out now. When is yours coming out? What is your release date?
My release date is September 22nd. It is
Awesome.
also going to be my birthday.
Yay, happy birthday and happy book birthday to you. That will be awesome. We're going to do another one of these on the 22nd?
Yes, absolutely.
I
Perfect.
shall see if I'm off from work.
Yeah, if you can. Right?
Yeah, if you can.
If you can't. If not, maybe it'll be just us two, but I will come. We will do it. It will be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yes. So, postcards. That's what I was talking about before we did the Kickstarters. But thank you for asking that, Chris, actually. I jump into these things because I know my community, and sometimes I'm just not aware that everybody hasn't heard all the information, but that's a good lesson, right? If you're doing your own Kickstarter, you're doing your own marketing, even the people who are intimately involved in your community may not have heard, so it's worth repeating, and that's why advertising becomes redundant and frustrating to those of you who are always around, right? You have to keep pointing it out to people because people don't necessarily get the message. We're busy. We have things to do in our lives, right? So, all right. So I'll show off my cards here. Let's see. Is that all 5 designs? Yes. Okay. So they come in a set of 5 designs, and they use all the art that has been created specifically for the Toy Soldier Saga. So there's one with the cover image, which is backwards on the screen. That's no fun. That's okay. Okay, they all on the back have the logo and the website. They're postcards. It's a matte finish, so if you want to use it as a postcard, you can. It's not my decision what you do with it when you get it, but it's supposed to be limited edition, so that's up to you, right? And then the copyright information for whoever did the art is at the bottom here. This cover image originally was designed by Chaotica. I did the graphic layout of the font and things. So, yes, here's the second one. Let's see here. Yeah. That one you'll recognize if you know my website, because this is the cover picture that I use. This art was created by Aaron Siddall, and this is fighter craft that actually is mentioned in the novel. This is a scene that takes place in the novel where Shandar is trying to get admission to an elite piloting school, colloquially known as Aces High, right? And he is doing an obstacle course to try to qualify for entry. So, right, that's events happen in the book. These are all connected to stuff. On the bookmarks, it will contain a quote from whatever scene it refers to. So, good night, Coffee. Get some sleep. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. It was an awesome job on the cover, says Daz. Thank you. I can't take any credit. Like I said, the artist from Chaotica, and I did, like, the graphic layout stuff I do in Canva, right? So, it's... it makes things easy. Get Canva. This is all the free plan that all of this stuff was done with, including, like I had to pay for the postcards, but I didn't have to buy a membership to order postcards, right? So, there's some really cool stuff you can get with the pro features, I won't lie, and I often want them, but, I can manage most things on the free plan, so I just do, generally. That's cool. Red Idea says, speaking of bookmarks, I'm going to make one out of denim. I'm going to call it my Jookmark. That's great. How am I back here again? Says Coffee. I don't know.
Coffee.
We're sucking you in. Okay, this is more art that was created by Erin Siddall. This was meant to be a representation of Shandar and the Aryan Rod's Pride. It's not entirely accurate to the book because, of course, the ships all have open decks with sails, right? But this was the artist's conception of it, and the whole resemblance to a seed is perfectly right. The Aryan Rod's Pride is a dreadnought that appears in both the early parts of the novel, where Shandar is assigned as a young midshipman learning the trade from his father, who is the captain of the ship and the rear admiral of the fleet. Right, and it also appears in the RPG that we play on Sunday nights. This was the ship that the characters were originally assigned to. Right, so, yeah. And you guys might also have seen that image. That is Yggdrasil Sprout, which is a tree of life. That's where the seed ships come from, or these trees. So it's like this gigantic tree. These worlds in it are actually very small worlds, but because of their, moon-sized, maybe smaller, right? But because they're in the roots of the tree, they have normal gravity. Nobody really understands how that works, but it's a thing that they do, right? And this right here is Shandar's homeworld, Peridot. So, yeah, this art was created by me. I did this with, bunch of digital compilation. So, and last but definitely not least, the full cover image from Chaotica, which is going to be, that's the wraparound cover that's going to be, this part's going to be on the back. That's obviously the front image. So, yeah. And Chaotica, I've mentioned it before, but I will again. She's one of us. She's an Anvilite, and she is a Twitch writing streamer. And you can find her Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Chaotica. And I'm going to put that in the chat so that people can check her out, because I've said it before, I'll say it again. You got to pay somebody to do it. You might as well pay somebody in the community, right? And support each other.
Yep.
So. All right. Stuff I'm still working on. The print formatting isn't done yet, and so the print versions are not going to be out until probably a couple weeks from now. As a result, the wide distribution is also delayed because I upload those at the same time, and do that through Ingramspark. It's a process that Eli will be intimately familiar with.
Yep.
So that has to wait. So right now it's an Amazon exclusive and will be for a couple of weeks. I'm still working on the top 100 influences list. I don't know why I'm struggling with it. I think it's just that it's because I came up with this idea long enough ago that I'm having difficulty remembering why everything was so important. Not what it was, but what it was that I took from it. So this has involved some stopping to research and things, right? But I am working at it steadily. It is getting done. That will probably be the next thing that will be out. Oh yeah, and I did all the star shanties too, for those of you who requested those, because I just had those in files and I sent them. So yeah, and that's kind of my report about where I'm at. Now, I guess we'll start in with what's next. What are your plans next there, Basic Dragon? What's the next thing to work on?
Yeah, part 3.
Sorry, which?
Part 3 of the.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the
Cool.
for the samples to come in so I can check them, and then I'm doing the order. And after that, I'm going to work on part 3 because the Kickstarter starts in January, and I'm hoping to have everything out by February.
Awesome.
Yeah.
See you later, Conquest Publishing. Thanks for coming. I didn't even see you come
Bye.
in. I guess you were lurking. But yes, go make dragons. Dragons are always cool.
Yes,
Yes.
dragons.
Yes, says Jason Dragon.
I don't think any of us up here have a dislike for dragons.
Mm. Notice Draco Lich in the background there. Right, yes. Dragons. Also my dragon egg over here. But
I don't
there's
think
nothing
I
to
have
do
a
about
dragon handy right now, but I have some around.
Actually, you know what? It has nothing to do with the Kickstarter, but just speaking of dragons, I have the coolest thing. This is an ostrich egg that was painted for me by a friend, Pamela Sampson, long ago. Like, I don't know, at least 20 years now. And I just love
That's
it.
so pretty.
As you can see, it broke, and I glued it back together.
Aw.
I don't know. I think this is kind of cool. The dragon's coming out. Right?
Nice.
So, dragons. Yeah, okay. So,
Yes.
Basic Dragon's basically done. They're just waiting on things,
Basic.
the printing stuff to come back so they can send it out.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, if hopefully I don't have to redo anything, so
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing
Yeah.
like proofs first, or do you have to
yeah,
order in bulk?
first.
Okay.
I'm doing the shipping was last time I only had to order one type of scene. This time I was gonna do several, and then I realized that they want me to pay shipping for all the different types. And I have 6 different types of my scene now, and they want me to pay 50 pounds for each type. So I was like, yeah, I'm not doing proof of all 6. I'm doing proofs of 2.
I ran into the same problem. I understand completely. With Canva, they put it all together, the shipping, and it was actually fairly inexpensive because I did order it all at once. But on Vistaprint, it's shipping for everything. Those bookmarks cost me like $22 between, and it's 5 bookmarks, right? And 5 bookmarks cost me $22 between the printing and the shipping. Now, if I'd ordered them all at once, it would have cost me less, but I didn't want to spend all the money, right, on all the bookmarks until I knew that they would turn out. Right. I figured with Canva, since I was printing directly from their stuff, if it didn't turn out, since they said they had a money-back guarantee, I could complain. Right. So I just sent it all and hoped for the best, and it turned out. Right. But, yeah. Ouch on shipping. Shipping! Let's talk about shipping. Right?
Yes.
If you are looking for advice about how to do your own Kickstarter, shipping will probably be your biggest expense.
Yes, it probably will.
Most, when people run into problems with their Kickstarters and have difficulty fulfilling, a lot of the time it's because the shipping turned out to be more than they thought it would be. And shipping companies, I don't know what's going on right now. Maybe they're trying to bilk the rest of us because Amazon is doing most of the shipping in the world and isn't paying them what they're worth to, so they, it's like they're going to give the tax breaks to the rich people, and then they're going to get all the money they didn't get from the rich people out of the poor people. I feel like that's what's going on in shipping right now too. So, since the shipping had increased something like 140% in cost since the last Kickstarter I did 2 years ago. Right? It's insane. Something's got to give. So, Conquest says, I'm waiting to see how our dragon, or the coloring comes out for our dragon on a book cover. Awesome! Nice. For those of you who don't know, Conquest Publishing does graphic novels and comics, and they're willing to work with unknowns, right? But they're also doing some work with Mercedes Lackey right now to graphic novel one of her series. So, they're awesome. Go check out their website. They're doing some really cool stuff. Yeah. I have vague thoughts, if not plans, to approach them about a Toy Soldier graphic novels eventually. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so yes, shipping. Right. So how long before they figure you will get that stuff back from the printing?
Let's see. I think it was the 17th, but I'm thinking I'm gonna get it since it's on a Friday. I'm thinking I'm gonna get it on the Monday, on the 20th.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and delays, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of impatient with waiting until the 13th with my bookmarks. If they turn out, and I decide to order the rest of them, because I will have to move before October 1st, I will have to wait, regardless, because they'd arrive right about the time I would be moving. If they don't turn out, I gotta play with them and then order another proof, right, of, the same one, and except, they don't have proofs per se, so I'm ordering 5 at a time, and so that'll be another $22 and, see what happens there. But, you want to do it right. So, but that's why I had a contingency fund, right? That's why I said there's always something that goes wrong. So I'm budgeting this amount of money, which sounds like an insane amount of money. I budgeted $500 in case of something going wrong. That's actually a really small amount for something that goes wrong. Like, what if the shipping turns out to be... I sent ebooks to 77 people, right? What if something had gone wrong with that, right? Now, that's probably just time, but what if I have a misprint in the paperbacks that I send out, and now I got to reprint them all and send them all again, right? And there's always stuff you miss in, I have noticed that there is a typo in the ebook, which is now live on Amazon, in the part that is on the look inside section, which I am going to have to fix. Now, fortunately, that's pretty easy with Amazon. As soon as you fix it, they send the updated version to all of the people who've already purchased it, right? So, that's good. But Ingramspark doesn't do that, and they're wide distribution, so you would have to re-upload it, which would cost you more money because they charge you a fee, right? And do it again, right?
Yep.
I think we should probably talk about Ingramspark and the process of dealing with them, because this is a lot of people are deterred by them because they have the setup fee for your title,
Right.
but there's good
$49.
reasons to go with it. But which? Sorry?
$49.
Yeah. $49 to do your ebook and your print book at the same time, and why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So why would you pay that? Right? Why did you decide to go for it, Eli?
I decided to go with it because of the wide distribution network that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get my book in as many places as I possibly could.
Yeah. And that may not be the right choice for everybody.
No.
It's I did it for the same reason. The thing about Ingramspark is that they're, like any other distributor. So you set a wholesale price as well as a retail price for your book, and bookstores can order it. So there is a chance you will get into a bookstore. It's unlikely, but at least people can go down to their bookstore and order it if they want to.
Yeah.
Right. So the wide distribution network is also really good in that they get on all of the other major online retailers, and they do it better than anybody else. Like, you can individually upload your book to Kobo and everything else, right? But there's no point, because you'll get just as good a quality from Ingramspark. You've paid them anyway if you've decided to do it, and they distribute to places like Angus and Robertson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which Kobo does not, right? Angus and Robertson is like a major chain in Australia, apparently, which I would have known nothing about without Ingramspark's help, or that I could get in there. And the other thing about Ingramspark is that they have printers pretty much on every major continent.
Yep.
So it's not all shipped from the US, and therefore your European readers are not paying a ridiculous amount of money to get a book. Right, so that's because this community is very international, and it was very important to me to have that availability to everyone. I don't want someone in Australia paying more for the shipping than the book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Chris says, I was curious to hear this. I used Ingram the first time and have done everything on my own since. I was able to get it into a bookstore the first time around, but be careful what you set for return terms. This is good advice. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Right? That bookstore eventually returned the unsold copies to Ingram, who then returned them to me and charged me for the copies. All because of the return terms I checked, not Ingram's fault. Yes, you have to look over that carefully. And here's one of those things that hurts my heart, but you have to do it. You can choose either to have Ingram return. When bookstores buy books, right? They buy a certain amount, and it's kind of like a conditional rental, right? If it doesn't sell after a certain period of time, they want the option of returning them. If they don't have that option, they probably won't buy the book. So you won't get into the bookstore, right? When they return the copies, Ingramspark gives you the option of either getting them sent back to you, right, so you can resell them, or having them destroyed. It hurts my heart to have them destroyed. I don't believe any book should do that. I think it's possibly blasphemy and almost certainly bad luck, right? But they would charge me to ship them back to Ingramspark would take them back without the charge of the shipping, but then they charge me to ship them to me, and then I have to pay to ship them out to somebody else if I sell them, and it's really, it basically ends up costing me double. Like, it'll end up costing me the price of the book plus shipping if I want it sent back to me and then manage to get it sold to someone else. So I can't afford to do it, so I select the destroy it option, which breaks my heart. So that's something to keep in mind if you're going through Ingramspark. But this is how every major publisher deals with bookstores. This is no different than what they do or experience. And this is part of the reason why royalty distribution in publishing is done in the way that it is. Because it sounds like a ridiculous percentage to get like 5 or 7% of your retail price, or 10% of your wholesale price, or whatever it is, right? If you wrote the damn book, but they're taking care of all this extra shipping cost, right? It's your publisher. They're taking care of the printing costs. They're taking care of the cost of hiring the editor, right? So they're assuming all the expenses, and that's why they end up with the bulk of the profit of the book. If you're doing it yourself, it's like owning a house. You get all the profit, but you also have to assume all the expenses.
Yep.
I still think it's worth it in general, unless you get lucky, basically. Like, and honestly, the amount you make in both of them, if you're kind of a, unknown or mid-lister like me, right, tends to be about the same. All right, so do you have anything else you want to add about Ingram there, Eli? Advice, thoughts? What about working with their templates? How do you find that? I find it a bit of a challenge.
It is a bit of a challenge, yeah. It can be a little confusing. It was definitely easier when I was just doing it through Amazon to figure out, like, all of that stuff, but...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not as user-friendly. They make you do math.
Yeah, they do make you do math.
Are you getting your books done through Ingramspark too, there, basically?
Ingramspark, because I'm giving out, this is a secret, a coloring book next year or the next after that.
Oh,
Nice.
So I have joined the Ingramsparks because I did some research and decided to join them too.
Did you find the templates challenging too?
I haven't looked up the templates yet, but
Okay.
I've read a lot about them and joined.
Yeah, no, I like them, right? For
Yeah.
me, it's definitely been worth it. I will say that I know that Angsthaze had a bad experience with them. Her big complaint
Yeah.
was the fact that it's expensive to ship things to Canada. She's right.
Mm.
Their North American distributor is, of course, in the United States.
Yeah.
They will charge you international shipping, right? There's no good way to get around that, right? Other than Amazon.
Mhm.
So, order them from Amazon. That's why you do Amazon separate and then everything else on Ingramspark. Right. So, yeah, if you're buying books in Canada, order them from Kobo or, Amazon.ca. Don't order them direct from Ingramspark. So, yeah. And if your primary audience is in Canada, that's not going to be worth it for you. But if your audience is spread out over the globe, okay, so my complaints about, it's not a complaint, honestly. It's that the templates are not as user-friendly. They're designed to make a professional quality book. It's the difference between, you can tell when a book is professionally printed, right? As opposed to a less professional printing. And not to say that there's anything invalid about indie books, there's not. But some people will reject them because they don't look as professional.
Fancy.
Yeah. Ingramspark books will. You will not be able to differentiate them from books that have been produced by the Big Four, other than the name of the publisher on it. So, but as a result, you have to think, because they have book design templates, and then you got to kind of calculate the thickness of your book, which is why the cover might change. I don't really know. And then calculating shipping and printing costs are a different thing. And that's interesting if you're going to go for bookstore distribution, because bookstores usually want a 55% discount off of your retail.
yep.
That can get very expensive. I'm a little nervous about how this is going to work out for my hardcovers. And the reason why is because okay, according to Amazon, now that I've uploaded it, which I couldn't have told you before I uploaded to Amazon, my book, they say, is 586 pages. I'm pretty sure that's not trade paperback sized pages, right? But if it is, it's going to be a close cut, because I will have to charge $45 for the book, which is what I was going to charge for it, the hardcover, in order to break even, right? And not make any money when a bookstore buys a hardcover. And that's not good. Now, I'm sure it's not going to be quite that bad, but my profit is going to be no more than $1 or $2 from that sale. And that's just the way it is. So for me, that's more about getting it out there than making money. Maybe that's not your priority. Hardcovers are considerably more expensive to print than paperbacks. So that's why a lot of people don't go with a hardcover. I just like making the option available because I want one, and because I think it matters to other people. Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Some people want a hardcover. They want a signed hardcover. Speaking of which, don't forget, there is a raffle going on to get a free ebook, ! Raffle to enter. There's also a raffle going on, a draw, where if you show me proof of purchase of your copy of A Few Good Elves from Amazon, you will be entered into a draw for a signed hardcover. And as far as I know, there's one entry, and if that's it, then Pride's getting it. So... Okay. Now I have no idea what to talk about. What do you guys, where, do you have anything that you think is valuable to talk about at this point? Something that was a pitfall, something that was really exciting in the process of this, an unexpected happy surprise?
So one of the things that I promised my Kickstarter backers was I was going to order, from my friend Jesse, a character portrait. One of the pitfalls that came with that was that he ended up drawing the character with the wrong color hair, and I had to be like,
Yeah. Working with artists can be challenging
yeah.
because they might not see it the way you see it. Like I said, this ship is supposed to have masts and sails, right? But
Yeah.
yeah. And then you decide whether or not that's something that is important. Often with cover images, the book, okay, we went over this in detail last time, as I recall, but a book cover is a movie poster. It's meant to advertise your book and get people interested in it, so it should tell them what to expect. So it doesn't necessarily have to be perfectly accurate. It can be symbolic. And a lot of the time, it'll be designed to appeal to particular genre tropes so that people will know, okay, that's a science fiction. You know, that's a romance. And then if they're interested in that, right, then they can buy that book. But how much inaccuracy, right? The reason why, obviously Aaron Sedol's art is amazing. And he originally made those pictures with the intention of them being book covers. Why I didn't use them and commissioned one from Chaotica was that, okay, first of all, what makes a good art piece does not necessarily make a good book cover. Actually, now that I have the cards, I can directly illustrate what I'm talking about. Right, okay, so if you took my beautiful, which I absolutely love, cover picture that I use on my website and folded it in half, right, with a binding in the middle, you would be able to see that part of the ship and not figure out what it is. Also, it takes up the whole cover space. Where do I put the title and the author name? Right? So, it's beautiful. This is pretty accurate to what a fighter looks like. They're small enough that, and they're only operated by 1 or 2 people, right? 1 person if you're flying, 2 people if you want to fire a weapon, right? Okay, at least. So they don't really have a lot of sails, and what they do have is kind of incidental. So this is fine, right? But again, I couldn't use it for the cover for that reason. This one I couldn't use for the cover because I was not satisfied with the fact that this one did not have a bunch of masts and sails. It should have, you know, it's a tall ship. It should have 3 masts and a bunch of sails. And it doesn't, so I don't think that effectively communicates my universe. It's important to my universe that air does not go out like whoosh when you're in these ships, that it's a magical sort of Faraday cage gravity field that holds in your breathable air and maintains your gravity. So you don't, it's open decks and you don't need it to be covered, right? And if that blows up, you're screwed anyway. So yeah, I didn't think that was accurate. The other thing is that I'm picky about characters, right? And while this is a beautiful drawing, right, it's not really what I pictured about Shondar. There's a couple things that are not correct. For instance, his hair is not curly, right? And he would be in a Navy uniform in this picture. He would not be, I mean, he does do the civvy thing, right? But not when he's obviously on some mission from his ship. And, yeah, so it would have been, I could have gone with it, right? The character thing, you can let go. Because that's not really important for a cover image. You get an idea of who he is. You get an idea it's like swashbuckling, spacefaring, but with ships. You can tell that. But the ship was wrong. And I thought that people might get the impression that it was like more science fiction than science fantasy. And I thought that was not going to work for my marketing. So. Oh, hey, congratulations, Right Idea. And no, it's not about me.
Thanks.
It's about the community. And that's
Yeah.
awesome. He just broke the 40K mark on his manuscript. That is great.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Congratulations. Yeah, right. So, yeah, ultimately, yeah, the final result was, okay, the ship isn't precisely how I pictured it either. But it's good enough. Right? It communicates the idea that it kind of vaguely resembles an insect, that it has grapples, and that it has sails. Right? So that was what was important. Right? As for the rest of it, that's perfectly accurate. That's my Navy uniform that flight suit that I designed in Hero Forge. Right? Shandar looks really a lot like the art breeder picture that I provided. It's, it's excellent. Yeah, right? So that works. And those are the kind of decisions you have to make when you're doing covers. So if you read a book and you're like, that's not what that person is described as looking like at all, now you know why they don't look like they're supposed to, right?
Yep.
Okay. Any other things that you ran into? Pitfalls or pleasant surprises?
I also ordered postcards, and they actually got here in like 2 days.
Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't that pretty?
Yep.
You went with the big ones.
I
That's
went with the
great.
big ones.
That's great.
I wanted it to be roughly the same size as the book is going to be, although, obviously not this
Yeah.
way, but
That's beautiful. I love that.
yeah.
Yeah, gimme. That's the right idea, yeah. Yeah, grabby hands.
Grabby hands, yes. The cover art that the artist came up with is almost exactly what I had pictured, and the thing that is different, it works so well that it was just like, don't change it, leave it. And that's the red on the footprints in the mud.
Right.
That was not part of my original design, and she did that, and I went, that's perfect.
Awesome. Yeah. Oh, nice. Chris said in response to the right idea, but it's also cool for us. Congratulations in advance. My big win today was releasing a new 2-pack of short stories to entice newsletter subscriptions. That's awesome.
Nice.
I really got to get my hands on your books there, actually, Chris. I want to know more about your world. I see that you're having difficulty explaining it, and maybe I can help, because explaining genre blending weirdness is kind of becoming my specialty. I think Eli might be able to say something about that too.
A little bit. I can definitely commiserate with my book is what genre, but as for describing it, it's her.
Yeah. Did you run into that too, Basic Dragon, out of curiosity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many.
Is high adventure fantasy an actual category, says Daz? Yes, right? They generally classify it separately. There's high fantasy, right, which is your familiar... okay, so it's high fantasy and sword and sorcery look a lot alike, but they're considered to be slightly different. And I'm not even sure what the deal is with that. I think that the sword and sorcery stuff tends to be more adventure process event oriented, and high fantasy is thought to be more plot oriented, but don't quote me on that, because sometimes I don't know.
High fantasy focus on big things, and while sword and sorcery is like person.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's just a single person, or 2, 3. Well, epic is high fantasy is epic. It's about the entire world events. While sword and sorcery is like person events.
That makes sense. Yeah, okay. And also, I guess often, yeah. Okay, so that's why Lord of the Rings is high fantasy, but Conan is adventure fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Because Conan rarely is out to save the world. He's usually just out to survive for himself. And I guess there's some moral ambiguity about that too. Although George R. R. Martin kind of broke that trope all to hell.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, suburban fantasy is the closest Chris has gotten. Which is cool. Red Idea says I'm making my world more dark, and I'm making it feel a lot more fleshed out because of it. I had watered it down a bit. You know, I really hesitated over a lot of the stuff that I was doing in the Toy Soldier Saga, because some of it does get really dark. Like, I'm not going to lie, this book is dark at places. Like, dark. Like, please don't let your children read it, right? But, yeah, and that's part of the reason why I delayed putting it out, because I was humming and hawing over, is this too much? Should I be appealing to a younger audience? I don't know, right? But I mean, it's important to the story. The whole story kind of centers around that, ultimately, and how people respond to that is kind of what drives the rest of the series. So, I guess Game of Thrones gave me permission, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I went for it. So don't be too afraid of taking the story where it goes, right? If the story goes down a darkened, poisoned rabbit hole, that's okay.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Chris says there's apparently a very small difference between paranormal romance and urban fantasy too. I think those are the two where I read an article about the focus on romance being the only thing that distinguishes them. Yes, and it's a problem that people run into. Okay, like Author Goddess, right? Her Rune Spell series is amazing, beautiful, classic urban fantasy. That's what it is. It is not a paranormal romance. She has her protagonist is not interested in relationships and is not getting involved in them. She has 2 kids to raise and a world to save. She doesn't have time for fucking dating, right? And I love her for it. I love her protagonist for it. But try to market that when you are a female writer and there's this overlap of paranormal, romance, and urban fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like...
Sibling would read it.
Yeah, see? I know there's...
My sibling does not like romance.
Some people don't, you know? And I don't dislike romance, but not every story has to be about that. And in my experience, some of these... Okay, if you like that sort of thing, no shade. No shade at all. People like whatever they like. But for me, when the sex starts to override the plot, unless I picked it up because it was an erotica, you've lost me, right?
There's 2 versions of romance, though. It's the one where there's just love, and then there's the one that's erotica.
Yeah.
I love romance, but only when it's not too much sex, because I have no interest in that.
Right, exactly. And
it's funny when my sibling is my alpha and beta reader.
Yeah.
I mainly write romance, and my sibling does not read romance or like it, but
That's great.
you have to beta it anyway.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, and it can be hard, right? Like, I get that. But there is an audience out there for it, regardless of... Because there's a lot of people who are like, oh, can we get on with the plot, please? You know? Right?
Yeah.
And so if you're... Can we get on with the plot, please? You really want Sarah's books. But it's hard to market. Especially because people make assumptions about female writers that are misogynist. Bullshit. But publishing is an industry that's full of misogynist bullshit. So,
Yep.
not from readers, by the way.
Nope. It's all from the big four and sort of trickles down.
Yep. Critics, reviewers, publishers, you know, they all make assumptions. And, yeah, anyway, I'm not going to get too big on my soapbox about that,
Yeah.
but I have a soapbox. I think I wrote an article about it at some point. Dad says, yes, but you can't appreciate the light if you don't see the dark. Yeah, I agree. The Red Idea says, my book is all about balance and consequence and what you put out into the world. So I feel like I need to show the good and the bad and everything. It also shows character development and stuff, and it's just helping me like all the fragments. Yeah. It isn't gore so much as it's like, whoa, people can be fucked up. Yeah. Chris says, oh, I hadn't thought about it that way. That has to suck for her marketing-wise. It can be very challenging. She gets very frustrated with it. So I like to tell people about what she's trying to do, because I know there's lots of people like BD's sibling, right, who are just, I'm not interested in the romantic subplot. Can we please get on with the story, you know? And that's,
yeah,
you know, yeah, and I don't think it needs it. Right? Her story doesn't need it. I have nothing against romance. I actually kind of enjoy romantic subplots. And I do enjoy the occasional erotica for its own sake. But you don't have to have that. Every story doesn't have to be about that.
Yeah.
Only when it's important.
Yeah, only when it's important. Exactly. Yeah. Right Idea says, I don't hate romance at all, but sometimes it doesn't really help the story. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dad says, that's why I'm deciding to use my initials instead of my full name. A lot of people with feminine sounding names do that. I'm not going to say women writers, because not everybody who has a feminine sounding name is a girl, right? But a lot of them do. I chose not to, as kind of because I'm a confrontational bitch. Let's just put it that way. Because it's a political choice. Because I believe that my stuff, okay, what I write is stuff that's often written by men. I write military, science fiction, and fantasy. I write apocalyptic westerns, Weird West, right? And other things like that. It's, you know, those are supposed to be boys' things. But somebody once told me D&D was for boys, and they were wrong then. And people who say these genres are for boys are wrong now. And I'm kind of being pointed about it. Right? So, because I think I do it just fine. I think I'm actually pretty good at it. So, yeah. Yep. Yeah, Basic Dragon agrees. Several female authors I read have male author names. Exactly. Or names that are kind of ambiguous, like, what? Her name. Robin Wood is an artist. Robin... I don't know. My brain. I'll slap myself later. She's a fantasy writer. People think she's a guy. Until they meet her. That's the one. Robin Hobbs. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Chris says, I have a brilliant former student who's starting to have stories come out, and she's done the same thing, initials instead of her first name. Yeah. And you have an easier time at the beginning if you do that. I'm not even going to lie.
Yep. I'm going to turn off my camera for just a moment. I need to shift a bit.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Shadow says, I hate romance in stories, to be honest. Like a random romance in a dark fantasy makes zero sense. Maybe it's not random, though. It depends. You know, like sometimes a romance in a dark story is provided to give moments of light to break up the dark.
Yeah.
And that can be important. Doesn't have to be, right? But it can be.
It depends on if the author did it well or not also, so...
Yeah. Right? Yeah. You'll do it for the same reasons you'll put, like, humor in the middle of the dark fantasy. Right? Buffy's a pretty dark show.
It is.
Except it isn't because it's hilarious, right? They break up the, wow, this is incredibly horrible and we are suffering, with moments of absurdity and ridiculousness and just general camaraderie. And life is like that. So that's why we love it. Yeah. Gender roles can piss off, says the right idea. Yeah.
I agree with that.
We, the theys here are all on this page. I think. Daz says Elizabeth Moon sci-fi. Yeah, she writes some really good military sci-fi space opera as well. Yeah. And of course, one of my favorite authors, Lois McMaster Bujold. Right? So, yeah. It's not like it isn't a thing. I imagine that, let's see. Okay, never mind. I was going to go off on a tangent. I'm going to skip it. But... Heh. Okay, Siobhan, my suggestion is not to use B.S. Healy. Because BS is BS.
Yeah.
And you're going to get bugged about that. I might go with S. Healy or B. Healy. But, yeah. Everybody's talking about different things they're going to do with their writer names. Yeah. Remember, it's a brand. So think about it like that, right? What name do you want to be known by? Because that's a brand. Right? Stephen King is a brand. We immediately know. George R. R. Martin is a brand. We know that one too. So. Yeah. Siobhan is agreeing that Robin Hobbs writes some amazing books. Yeah. Shadow Malachi says, wait, is it about Buffy? Because I love Buffy. I never found it too dark, though. Yeah, that's because they break it up with the humor. And just as you're starting to go, Jesus, fuck, they really are in the middle of the hellmouth. You know?
Yeah.
Then, then things... I don't know, then Xander does something stupid. And it's funny, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Red Idea says, I described my villain, who's permanently angry, actually very sad and grief-stricken, as looking as though you just suggested his mother had a relationship with a goat anytime you question his genius. I feel that way. I don't like people who question my intelligence. I tend to look at them like they've had a relationship with a goat, or maybe their mother did. Yeah, I don't like that much. Yeah, W.E.B. Griffin, military writer. I was trying to think of them. Yeah. Mercedes Lackey? I wouldn't say Mercedes Lackey. Mercedes Lackey does not really write military science fiction fantasy. As a matter of fact, Mercedes Lackey is consciously aware that she doesn't do some of the battles well. So unless something that happens in the battle is important to the character and their development, she skips it. Right? I was really surprised when I read The Last Herald Mage of Valdemar series, because I'd heard a lot of the folk music prior to that the whole fight against the, sorceress with the shadows didn't even appear in the books. It was totally in the song. I was like... And, some of the big battles didn't appear in the books. Vanya returning after the battle, when she's had chances to process it, appear in the books. And that's smart. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Because that shit can be difficult, and you can get bogged down in the details. So she doesn't want to do it, right? And if she doesn't have to. Not that she doesn't write great fight scenes when she chooses to, right? She's one of my favorite authors too, right? But yeah. Okay. Bernard Cornwall is the person you're thinking of, the right idea, who writes the military stuff in various eras, historical military. One of the inspirations for the Toy Soldier Saga was the Sharps series, because it takes place in the right era, and he is the author of that. Aaron says people who know everything, who think they know everything, are very annoying to those of us who do. Yeah. I enjoyed a couple of books. I don't know if they were actually good or not. I was like 12. Good is subjective.
Yeah, good is very subjective. Did you enjoy it? Then it's good.
That's right. Okay, I think we're at a natural point to take a bit of a break. When we come back, I'm out of the material that I had specifically intended to talk about today, because we're kind of touching on what we've done. So maybe, I don't know, when we come back, if you guys, we could also consider where we want to go next, but if you don't have any ideas specifically, and I'm much more willing to be directed by you guys, then, we have to do what I want to do. But then my thought is, let's get into some of, without spoilers, right, what our stuff is about, where we're kind of planning on going next, and maybe we'll do some reading of our stuff if you guys are into that. Awesome. Okay, we're going to put up the break screen. We're going to take a bio. We will see you in a minute. we are back.
Hello.
Thank you for your patience. I'm sorry it was an extra long wait. My fault. So, all right. So I understand while we were gone, the right idea says, I just realized my original goal for this book was 40k words, and I'm only a few hundred away from that. It's since expanded and gotten much larger than I ever anticipated, but I've just hit a goal I set for myself, which is something I never do. Congratulations, that is awesome. That is what this is all about. That is what the team is for. Oh, that's awesome. It says, probably going to cry a little, laughing my ass off. You're all the absolute best, and without you all to motivate me and get me to grow, I wouldn't be where I am right now, and I'm so excited to see how much further I can get. That's why I love this community.
Yep.
Yeah, agree with Siobhan there, Billy. That's what we love about this community. We spur each other to write and grow as writers. Yeah. One of these days will be my first ever release day, says the right idea. That's right. And you will be in my stream spamming hype emojis. Yes,
We
damn
will.
will. I will also talk about it on my stream and tell people to go and buy your stuff. That's what I will do.
Yep.
So speaking of which, we're back and we're going to do some readings from our stuff is what we've decided to do. And we're going to kind of go in an alphabetical order. I don't know what everybody's reading exactly, but I think in general it's going to be teasers and, that sort of thing. So we will start with Basic Dragon and I will enjoy the opportunity of listening instead of talking.
Yes, this is page 4, but it's the first page of the scene. You open your eyes and sigh when you see the room. You're not back in your kitchen. You're still lying on the lumpy mattress in the windowless cabin. You sit up and look around. The orb is laying on the maps on top of the table. The maps had settlements marked out. You could go to one of them and try to find help, or stay in the cabin and wait for the owner. The maps were oddly written with letters you recognize. What do you do? Stay in the cabin, or take maps and leave?
The chat can vote. What do you do? We're going to do it with a poll, or we want to do kind of consensus? Let's do consensus because it rolls faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to stay in the cabin or maps and leave? Okay, right idea says maps and leave.
Yeah, let's do that.
Daz says
Let's
take the
see.
maps. Yep.
Page 12. You can't sit around and wait for somebody to come and save you. The owner might even kill you if they find you in their cabin when they return. Besides, the closest settlement named Carmine on the map doesn't look far away. Hopefully only a couple of hours away, with the larger settlement named Corda on the map looks to be about a day away. You get out of bed and start packing. You put food in a plastic container and put the container in the bag that you found in one of the cupboards and pick up the maps. The orb bobs as it follows you out of the cabin. You close the door behind the orb and take a look around the glade in daylight. What do you do? Follow the map to Carmine or follow the map to Corda?
Carmine or Corda?
I'm thinking Carmine. I'm
Corda.
outvoted.
You
I'm
are outvoted.
Corda. That's good.
Who's talking without? Who's typing without looking because it's creepy? I'm a touch typist. I took an entire year of typing because I knew I wanted to be a writer.
You look down at the map and head towards the larger settlement. You walk quite some time in the creepy silent forest. It's early morning. Hopefully the monsters are only out late at night. You walk faster. You have to reach the settlement before sundown. You reach a crossroad with a sign that you can't read and glance down at the maps. You hear another sound and glance up from the maps. A short man with weird proportions, a long beard, a fur collar, and a large hammer is looking at you. You glance around. You are the only one around that he could be glaring at. You consider asking if he speaks English when you hear a whimper and notice a furry bipedal creature laying on the ground behind the bearded man. The bearded man raises his large hammer and moves forward towards you. And we'll stop there.
Oh, but I want to know what happens next.
This is one of the in this scene you have to, on some of the pages you have to roll a dice and see which one to get, because it depends on if the
Oh,
orb,
right.
this is a bit of a spoiler, but it depends on if the orb managed to save you or not.
Oh.
Nice. See, so there you go. There's a little taste of what playing these wonderful choose your own adventures is going to be like, and I'm excited. I can't wait because we are waiting for our copies too. So we're excited. Or did we get them already? I don't know, because I don't remember. Aaron ordered the hard copies, or did he order the e-copies?
You ordered the I think e-copies.
Did he? Well, then we probably have them already, right? I should probably poke him in the ass.
You have the first one.
I have the first one. Okay.
But the second one is coming at the beginning of October, hopefully, depending on how long the shipping takes.
He hasn't given it to me yet, so I will remind him. Actually, I know I'm reminding him now because I know he's watching the stream. Baby, please send me the first book. Thank you. You can send it in the Discord. That'd be nice. Okay. Cool. All right. Now it is Eli's turn.
All right, I'm going to read a little bit of chapter 2. This is one of the things that has happened in this book is one of the main characters, Kane, has disappeared. Yes, this is book 2, right idea. I went back into the living room and grabbed my bag of canvas. I kept a small supply in my room for when the mood to paint struck me in the middle of the night, or for projects that weren't skyscapes. I walked into my room, noted the man in the black robes in the corner, and neatly stacked my new canvas with the others, laying them according to size. I set the bottle of the new green with the other paints on the shelf, then paused with my hand still on the paint bottle. Wait. I turned to the corner where I had seen the figure in black, and stared hard. He was still there. He was tall, solidly built, and wore layer upon layer of black, ragged robes, with a deep cowl. Over his face, he wore the skull of a wolf, beaded in red, black, and silver. I stared at him. Kane? He didn't answer. He didn't even move. I moved closer and held out a hand towards him. Please, are you real? I asked quietly. He reached out and took my hand. Hello, Lenore, he said in my mind. His hand was colder than ice. I smiled, relieved. It was him. He was okay. I didn't have to worry anymore. I nodded and let out a sigh. And then I hauled back and punched him so hard the mask fell from his face. And I'm going to go ahead and stop there, because after that it gets into this big, long scene. But
King deserves that punch in the face.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. He's been asking for that. Yeah. Awesome. So there's a little teaser. I want to read it, says the Red Idea. Yes. Yes, see? But
yes, you do.
There you go. Gotta pick up a copy. That's how it works. Alright, so I will read the it's sort of the prologue. I call it flash forward. Right, that starts the book. And you can check this out for yourself. This is from A Few Good Elves, and you can check this out now because the Look Inside feature is active on the Amazon page. Because it is such a big book, the first 3 chapters are presented in full. The 4th chapter kind of breaks up about halfway through. As a result, if you have been reading the book on World Anvil, I have also made the first 3 chapters available to the public there. Because, you know, no point in hiding stuff that's already public. So, I guess I should put on my glasses. Flash forward. Flower Moon, 5042, Avalonian calendar. All about on the decks of the Queen's Dirk, the crew were running and screaming. There were too many dead and wounded to count, and the Kyurgians had elves spread out over the tables in the mess, the garden, even the captain's bed. Shondar sensed Lieutenant Silria on the remains of the Vauxhall, now mostly a debris field, commanding the mages to ready spells and the weapon crews to continue their attack. He could also see the gravity well of the Vengeance, just now coming about on their starboard side, though he was certain that it had been much longer than they needed. "I have the helm!" Shandar cried. "Get us out of here, Shandar!" He turned his head and studied the rapidly oncoming Balorian ship through both the hole in the starboard wall and Queenie's senses. Even with Silria's magical boost, he knew this to be hopeless. "I can't do it, Silria," he said in a hollow voice. "They're just too fast." Silria looked down at her feet for a long moment. She squared her shoulders. "Then we shall die with honor." Shandar nodded. Amazingly, there was no fear, just sadness that he would not see his family or Nerissa again. "Sails! Evasive maneuvers!" Shandar commanded. "Hard down!" As the insectoid ship neared, it closed those claw-like limbs to grapple them. But under Shandar's power and direction, they dodged the attempt. Shandar saw a whole army of armored Balorian warriors pour out onto the deck and stand to the rails. Silria shrieked, "Mages, fire!" and she let off a lightning bolt herself. There were only a couple of elves left topside to obey Silria's command, but they responded. Flames and electricity washed over the orcs, though enough that it stopped them in their tracks and aborted the boarding attempt. "Bring her about," Shandar ordered. "Hard a starboard." Queenie answered sluggishly with all the shorn rigging and short-handed crew, but she came back around. As they swooped back towards each other, Silria's command rang out. Defiantly, the Queen's dirk fired another volley. The Balorians greeted it with a broadside of their own as they both swung starboard at the last moment. The larboard ballista both missed, but two of the three others dented the hull. The third pierced it once more on their larboard side with a ringing tear of sheet metal. Their catapult did not fire at all. Whether it was because it was damaged, or because there were too few crew left to man it, Shandar would never know. The decapitated Vengeance had only one gun it could bring to bear on the pass, but it fired that larboard's bombard at point-blank range. The forecastle simply collapsed like a sandcastle. Silria was swallowed into the sinkhole. Shandar roared in horror and pain, but could not hear his own voice in the overwhelming noise. There was no sail crew left to command, but hoping against hope, Shandar bellowed anyway, "Hard a port!" The mizzenmast was shorn away, and he knew it, but knowing there was nothing else to be done, he yelled out, "Prepare to ram! All hands brace for impact!" just as Garen had attempted. He didn't flinch as the Queen's dirk collided head-on with her foe. And that is the prologue. Oh, there we go. That's what I like to hear. Thank you, Right Idea. Sheesh, goosebumps. Can't wait to read the fuck out of this book. Excellent.
Making me kind of wish I'd read my prologue too, but
We got more time. You could read more. I don't mind. It's only 1 o'clock. We're here for another hour, theoretically.
let me see. All right, so one of the things that happens in this series, particularly the first 3 books, we'll see what happens with book 4. But the first 3 books is a story being told by Raven, the main character. And it flashes back and forth between her present and her past. So, the prologue is in her present. I am tired today. It takes more effort than I want to think about to push myself into a standing position. Next to the table I am on is a toilet that I can just reach if my arm is extended to its fullest. I pee. My urine is dark. I am thirstier than I have ever been. I flush the toilet and crawl slowly, painfully back onto the table. The boy is not awake yet. When he finally does wake up, I smile at him. I feel my lips crack open and bleed, so I lick at them. My tongue is almost too dry to do more than spread the blood around. I need water, but I don't trust anything they give me here. Everything is probably drugged. Do you want to hear the rest of the story? I ask the boy with a voice that cracks. He nods eagerly. I don't imagine he's ever had someone tell him stories like this before. I don't know that I will be able to finish the story today. There's still a lot to tell, and I am so tired. My mouth and throat are dry. It hurts to talk. I am running out of time. I hope that I will last long enough to finish the story, at least. I take a deep breath and begin.
I love that, by the way. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Where are they? What? You know? Oh, now I gotta know. Why are they there? Who is torturing them like this? I need to know.
You find out.
I know. That's the fun. Red Idea is amazing. I want to read it as well now. Stop! I have such a long TBR list. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I can't wait for it too. This is great. And thank you
Yeah.
for sharing the World Anvil publication for me there for Surviving Idle. I can't wait. It's great.
It's private, so only those who have purchased it can see it.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Brilliant. Yeah, if other people go there, they're going to get the, you should sign up to my Patreon or something, right?
No, they get the multipass.
They get the multipass. Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That's great. I'm very excited. This is going to be good. Okay. I can't wait to play.
It's fun. It's also really, really hard.
Cool.
Lots of ways to die.
Good. Kill me lots of ways. That's great. That's the fun of those.
Mostly if you're in the forest.
I generally read Choose Your Own Adventures until I've done everything. I go and I sometimes I'll be like, okay, so I do a bunch of them, right? And then I go to the end of the book and I flip and see, have I got all these endings, right? And if I see one I don't recognize, I'm like, oh, I got to figure out how to get there, I want all the story.
There's one ending for the first one and 6 endings for the second one.
Awesome.
It's the 3. Out of the 6 endings, they are like 2 are similar, and another 2 are similar, and the third one are similar. But it's gonna happen different things in the last book depending on which one you ended up on.
Brilliant. That's awesome.
I was always terrible at Choose Your Own Adventures. I'm surprised that I managed to get through yours on the 4th try.
Nice. Red Idea says, do you ever do that thing where you flip open a page 16 but open it a tiny bit to see if you die, and if you don't fully open it, it doesn't count? I sure used to as a kid. I was very competitive as a kid and I didn't want to fail, so yeah, I used to do that as a kid. No, I don't care. It's a story. If I die, so what? I get to read another story. That's great. Yeah. But yeah, I did. Lydia's like, yeah. Big gritty face.
Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah.
If there's no pages at the bottom, then it doesn't count because I didn't read the whole thing.
It's brilliant. Okay, I think we're at a place now where we can ask our viewers if they have comments or questions about anything that we've discussed so far. Because we've done some reading and we've, kind of updated people where you're at. And, part of why we do these is so that we can help other people who are planning on doing their own Kickstarters and kind of take you into a deep inside examination of how it all works.
Yep.
So that, you're prepared, right? And I don't know anybody else who's doing this, so I hope it will be a valuable resource for people. Right.
Yeah.
What's this used to be competitive thing, Sable? Okay, fair enough, Daz. But nowadays, I'm not as upset when I don't win. Right? Honestly, I used to be a terrible winner or a terrible loser because, okay, so I was very, very good at academic stuff and very, very bad at physical stuff. totally uncoordinated, absolute hopeless klutz. Because I was really good at the academic stuff, people really made fun of me when I did not do well at the physical stuff. It kind of vengefully, right? So I have psychological issues about sports to this day, right? So, and I hate it when I lose because I'm afraid I'm going to get picked on, right? There's a little part of the inner child that goes, you know?
Yeah.
So I get all defensive and sometimes really emotional, and I hate it because it's totally a PTSD reaction. I genuinely otherwise don't care, right? I don't have to win at everything, but I react to it like, it's the end of the world because there's a little part of me that's just convinced I'm going to get mocked. Is that weird? I suppose it is. Siobhan says, is Erradia Publishing going to become an actual publishing house for writers? That is the eventual goal. I'm not going to push it I'm not going to push it too hard. I'm more interested in letting it develop naturally. But some of the things that I intended to do with it is one, I hoped to produce more anthologies than I have been. My original intention was to produce one anthology a year with a different theme that I would make calls for submissions for and either pay royalties, right? And the first one went really well, right? But it was a lot of work and it was more than I was expecting. And it's just me at the moment. So I kind of either need more of a team or I need more time. And then COVID, of course, threw everything through a loop and everybody's plans derailed. But yeah, eventually that was the plan. One anthology a year, maybe two, depending on how quickly that grows. And I'm going to let it evolve. I hoped to use a World Anvil world to create a monthly magazine eventually where I would, pay people for their stories and publish them, right? And so that's a plan, right, which I would govern through Patreon integration. And you would sign up for a membership through Patreon, and then you would be able to read the stories, although we would publish some for free every month, right? Just not all of them. So that's an eventual goal. And yeah, if people want me to see what I can do with their manuscripts, I would be more than happy to do that. And there's the fan fiction project, right?
Yes.
For those who don't know, some of us in the community have decided, wouldn't it be fun to write fan fiction in each other's worlds?
Nice.
So Natalia Books is kind of being the spearhead organizer on that one. She's created a website through World Anvil, and she has a forum where you can sign up and offer your world. We're not really sure what form it's going to take yet in terms of how we're going to go about it. Like, I think that it would be bad to, just mix and match unless people wanted to do that, but I don't want one person to have all the stories in their world either, right? And then the idea was that we would publish an anthology, right, which Erradia Publishing would be happy to take on, where we would, we'll put out the previews on World Anvil, right? Then we will publish it in ebook and possibly in print, depending on, who's involved and how much editing it takes. And yeah, so that's something to look forward to. Or we might just make the whole thing available for free on World Anvil so that you can get a taste of our different writing styles and our worlds. We kind of have to discuss how we're going to do that together.
Yeah.
So, but that's part of the plan. I would love my novels to come out through Erradia Publishing if possible. Okay, it's Siobhan. I will definitely I already told you I'd edit it, so we will definitely have a look at it. Yeah. And we'll see what we can do. Questions. How are those ships going for everyone? Asks Basic Dragon. Eli's like, no.
I don't have a ship. I don't have a ship.
I'm preparing for NaNoWriMo, so I'm only doing stuff except for the choose your own adventure thing. I'm only doing stuff for Bricks Haven that I'm going to write story for during the NaNoWriMo. And it's a very landlocked one. It's a school in the middle of a large pocket world. So there are no water. So I did it's a toy miniature radio-controlled ship.
That's awesome! What a clever way to get around the conditions of the challenge. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's also one of the reasons why the story of the ship is also one of the reasons why one of the main characters is named Turtle.
That is so cool. Yeah, I do have a ship, says James. I need the videos to come out. Daz says, I have a map.
Nice.
In our case, I've decided I'm doing the Aryan Rod's Pride because it features in both the game and the book, right? Aaron is designing the map and he's well into it by now, but I have yet to start the article because I've been doing the book release thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I
maybe
wonder
now I
why
can do it.
you've been busy.
Maybe a little bit. Just a bit. That's okay, though. You know, yeah, it's all right. Siobhan says, I'm trying to figure out my ships at the moment. I know where they are from, and so I need to decide whether or not I'm going to use both types or focus on just one at the moment. Right. Fair enough. I think the challenge is for a specific ship.
They said that they would prefer that, but not necessarily. It could be a one ship out of a fleet of similar ships. Just they talked about it during the challenge released during the stream.
Right, I must have missed that part, but cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got like whole classes of ship that I could do, but I thought it'd be more fun to do something specific that actually has history and relates directly to things that are going on.
Yeah, my sibling was interested in doing an article, but they only want to write about a class of ships in that case, so they're considering it.
Cool. Yeah, James says mine is a merchant ship. Daz says it's more like a map than a real map. Quote, map. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Aaron has a real. I'm glad Aaron is doing the map because I would probably just draw it rather than try to use a mapping program. I just don't feel comfortable enough with them, and and I've already been a pain in the ass because it's not like I gave him a lot of direction. I said, here's the artist's depiction of the ship, but picture open decks and 3 masts with sails, right? And he's doing his best, but I already went and I looked and I went, those masts need to move, right? And he's like, why? And I'm like, because this does not do the center of gravity of the ship, and that is important. If they're not sort of equally spaced throughout the length of the ship won't turn properly. Right. So, and I felt bad because he'd done a lot of hard work and it's beautiful. It really looks great, but, yeah. So what I should have done was kind of done a basic drawing before I started to make life easier on him. So, yeah, we're working on it. Dad says, my ship is a jolly boat. That's awesome. Siobhan says, mine are fishing vessels. Do I want to do the reed ships or the larger fishing vessels they built? I think that, I don't know, the larger ones might be more interesting. It depends on how good you are. You know what? Actually, you're an overwriter. You should probably stick with the reeds. Me, I'm like, am I going to be able to get this under 2,500 words? Although, thank heaven, this time they have actually made it clear on the description of the challenge that attached articles do not count towards your word count. Thank God. That will make my life a lot easier. So, yeah, whatever ones have the best stories. That's the one you want to do. I know that Laura Bones is doing a spaceship because I saw her stream. I was lurking the whole time, but I saw it, and she was making a beautiful looking spaceship that is making me jealous and wish that I could do it. And yeah, I hope somebody's doing an airship. Makaro's doing a spaceship. Like, his spaceship's like, it is like a colony ship that's been partially disassembled to make the colony where they are, which I thought is really cool.
I think Taylor's maybe did a airship.
Yeah, that's cool. Was Tiller's doing stuff with the gnomes?
I don't know, but I think he used Dungeon Fog and had a map that he showed off. His world was beneath it, so it has to be an airship.
That would be awesome. Yeah. Well, I'll probably read it. I usually read Tiller's stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I was really pleased by the challenge. For those who didn't get the memo when we got here, if you're watching this later and you're not part of World Anvil, this is a World Anvil community challenge to design a ship for your world. It can be any type of ship. So, airship, steamship, sailing ship, spaceship. I thought that was a really clever way to approach the challenge because okay, it's not that nobody's world, exists that doesn't have such a thing, but it'd be the exception, right? Because at least some form of it has happened throughout any period of history, right? Yeah, submarines.
I mean, technically there are ships in the world of the Reaperverse. It's just they are not important to the plot.
Right. But you could still do it.
I could. I don't know that I want to, but
that's fair. No, I was excited because, of course, this kind of works with the book release. I need to design the ships anyway. So
yeah.
I was like, thank you. I'm probably going to get started on that later today, actually. So now that the book is out into the world and I can't do anything until I get the print formatting back, I might as well. So. Are there any other questions from our audience?
Yes, ask us things.
Yeah, and if not, we can always end a little early. That's all right. James says, for those who are hating the challenge, out of interest, what would you have liked? That's a good question.
I don't have a preference.
I don't think you have to do every challenge. So I have nothing against every challenge. I didn't do the costume challenge, right? And the reason why is because I was busy with other things. I thought perhaps everybody started using Hero Forge to do the costumes, which is something that until then Barbarossa had done and a couple of us like me had picked up on, right? And then all of a sudden everybody did it. And I'm not complaining, but I thought it's going to be very difficult to stand out. And my costumes are, I did all my Navy uniforms already. They were done. And this, so it was my gunslinger outfit that I was going to do. But I'm like, this is just cowboy outfits with a couple of different things, meaning having slightly different symbolism in my world. And I thought, this is probably not worth the time that it's going to take for me at the moment. So I didn't do it. Right. Other people did an amazing job. If you haven't seen Amelie's article, for example, you should.
I do it for the badges.
But you don't have to do them all. Profession article thing, I don't mind the current challenge. That's what James would have liked to have done as a profession. Yeah, I could have rolled with that. But I'm happy about the ships. He said, yes, everyone said my uniform looked copyright infringed. Oh, that sucks. Why did they say that? I don't understand that. That's silly.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
Oh, were you talking about the messenger uniform? Because I remember that, and I thought that was a great article. Oh, the captain looks like the captain to Star Trek. No imagination, people.
No.
No, it doesn't to me. Other than, sort of a superficial, red and black. But I could have made the Star Trek uniform with Hero Forge. You could do that, more or less.
Yep.
Without the insignia, mind you, but...
Daz asked if we plan merch like t-shirts.
Good questions.
I could probably do something with that. I might not, but I probably could.
What about you there, BD? Are you planning on merch?
Yeah, for the last Kickstarter, there's gonna be stickers. Maybe some keychains, but the stickers are gonna say I survived Idil.
That's awesome!
That was
Are you sure you're not going to do t-shirts? I would buy that.
It's t-shirts and stuff is kind of hard because then you'll have to order, you have to get the different kinds of sizes and colors, and then you have to, it feels a bit too much work.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a small Kickstarter.
Right. I was going to just be lazy and go with one of those places. Like I have a Zazzle store that I've had for years. It doesn't, I make like $1 a year at it, but I thought, yeah, I could do like Zazzle, or I could check out the Patreon merch stuff, or the Steam Labs or Steam Elements merch stuff. Do it through Teespring. I don't know Teespring. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
I did order a t-shirt with a logo from Brexhaven from the same place I ordered the art prints for this Kickstarter. So if I like those t-shirts, maybe. It depends.
Right.
Because they were cheap and they had good variety and stuff, so maybe.
Cool. Yeah, I've heard Teespring's pretty good, right? I just don't have an account there, so I was like, do I want to go through all the trouble of creating an account when I already went through the trouble of creating this Zazzle account, right? So, I don't know, but yeah, okay, in my case, yes, there will be merch. There should have been merch already, but too many things all at once, but now I will get to work on the merch. So, because I want merch. I want to be able to wear a t-shirt with my stuff on it to conferences when and if we ever get back to them. And, go, buy my book, right? Fire, moving, book release, chaos and destruction.
Yeah.
Literally chaos and destruction, actually, in this case. Yeah. But no, there will be merch. I hope to get started on it in the next couple of days, actually. So, and it doesn't take much to put it on Zazzle. I just have to screw around with the placement of stuff and decide what I want it to say. And that's the other thing. I haven't had any inspiration to come up with clever stuff for it, right? I could put out just like the art, but do I want it to have a cool quote? Would I like it to say something funky? And I want to do like, I think there's some potential in the Avalonian Navy and Marine Corps stuff. I do have a goal at some point to design stuff that looks like that, but that's a much bigger goal because I'm not going to get that through a t-shirt at Teespring, right? So I don't know, like maybe their rank insignias, but if I do their rank insignias, I don't want to do it on a plastic round button. You know what I mean? I would like to do it on a metal pin, and I don't know who does that. So I've got to do some more research. I could do a plastic button if people are into that, right? It'd make a good hat thing, right? But do I want to do it for, like, I'd like a nicer, right? So if somebody goes through the trouble in the future, oh God, I hope they do, of cosplaying something, right? They'll have a pin that will work with the uniform, right? So, yeah. Yeah. James asks, is a book still an anthology if it's from one world but multiple authors such as Sable, Daz, and I write stories in the future scene world? Okay, when a book of short stories is by one author, it's called a collection. When it's by multiple authors, it's called an anthology.
Yep.
So that's the technical differentiation. So the answer is yes, it's an anthology. Yeah. Daz is right. I could totally do this, but I'd have to like get someone to design the cartoon. I can punch you through the floor because I eat my blue mushroom spores. I'm Squint Eye the Star Pilot. Oh, that would be hilarious. I love that. Daz made that up. I think that's great. We're gonna. Yeah, I love that kind of absurdity. So I think we're gonna find a way to make that work. Well, okay, Pride. I think we're just about to finish up, and I think you probably did win it because I don't know anyone else who entered the draw. Right? Last chance to enter. Proof of purchase for your A Few Good Elves ebook enters you into a draw for a signed hardcover copy, which I will send anywhere in the world. So, oh, that is a Dazzlecat quote now in the Toy Soldiers old school for sure. Oh, Moon entered too? Okay, yeah, then I actually have to draw something. Woohoo!
Yay!
Yes, I know. Oh, wait, you know what? I didn't even look. Uh-huh. Yes, there we go. All right. Cool, Moon did enter too. Excellent. All right, anybody else? Going once, going twice. Also, we're running out of time to enter the exclamation point raffle for your ebook, which we will draw through Streamlabs like, you know, you're used to on Twitch, right? So. All right. Oh yeah, I guess I should clarify. Yes, I'll count it if you got it on the Kickstarter, by the way.
Oh, in that case, can I enter?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Hang on. 1 second.
I mean, you gave me money and you got the ebook. So yes, absolutely. I will totally do that.
Okay, this is me entering.
Officially accepted. Yes. Brilliant.
Now, where was I? Because I was not at the cover. I was at Aces High.
That's hilarious, Siobhan. Siobhan says, if I win the raffle, I'm so taking a screenshot and dropping it in the Discord if it isn't too late, if that is allowed. No. That's not allowed. You gave me no money. I'm sorry. I love you, but no. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I think I already gave you something for free, and I don't mind, right? But then you can't use the thing they gave you for free to have an option to get something else for free. That's just not fair to people, you know. Had to try, says Siobhan. Yeah, I admire your initiative. Yeah. I did not enter the drawing because I won and did not pay. Yeah, shakes fist at bank. Yeah, it sucks, Daz. I'm sorry. But, all right. Going once. Going twice. And that's it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw a random number. Random number generator. It's going to be nice and simple. And I should probably put this on my page, shouldn't I? So that people can see it. So we'll capture the Chrome, which you can hardly see, but that's how we'll do it. And the minimum is 1. The maximum will be 3, right? Because we have 3 entries. They are in order of entry. It was Pride, Moon, and Eli.
Woo.
Remember to take off the ads. Yeah, it doesn't do it on this one. It's just Google's number generator. Ooh, I forgot Eli squeaked in. Yes. Even and odds? Oh, even and odds. Yeah. No, there's 3. So here we go. And the winner is number 2, which was Moon.
Yay, Moon!
Yay! Congratulations, Moonflower. I will be happy to send you your book. Obviously, it will have to wait until I get copies to send, but send me your, well, actually, I think I already have your address through the Kickstarter. So if I don't, send me your address so that I can send that to you, and let me know how you want me to sign it. Do you want me to make it out to you by name and what name and, all that stuff? Let me know. And congratulations. That's awesome. Yay! Thank you, Bob. Yeah, hello. And yes, it is book release day today. A Few Good Elves is now available at Amazon. The print release is still forthcoming, which will be in a couple weeks. But it is available. You can read the first 3 chapters for free because it's a big book, and that is what the view thing selected of it, which I think is great because that's a good enough portion of a book to go, yeah, I think this might interest me. So that's really cool as far as I'm concerned. You can also read the first 3 chapters now on World Anvil. It is open to the public because, hey, World Anvil should get priority anyway, and if it's already out in the public, there's no point in hiding it. If Raffle is for a book, I already have one coming. Yes, exactly, but this is for the ebook. I don't remember what package you chose. I think you ordered the print copy. So, you won, Moon! Yes, you did! You get the signed copy! You just make sure I have your mailing address, which I probably already do because that's probably in the Kickstarter information that you sent me. All right, or maybe, no, it isn't because you used your dad's account. Never mind. Okay, so I need your mailing address and how you want me to write in it. What you want, do I make it out to Moon? Do I make it out to Aiden? How would you like me to handle it? Right, so I'm signing one for Bob. That's right. Okay. Yep. So yeah, no, but if you want to copy the ebook, you can still enter the raffle, Bob, and we're going to close that right quick here too. So last chance to get in on the ebook raffle. Exclamation point raffle to enter. You can choose PDF, Mobi, or EPUB. That's whatever book format you want, or all 3 if you prefer, because it doesn't cost me anything extra to send you as many different variations as you want. Yeah, I would have sent it to someone else anyway, says Siobhan. The ebook I want myself. I PM Sable the address. Perfect. It's exactly what I want. Thank you very much. I can't wait to send it to you. It's going to be awesome. I'm glad you won. That's great. Congratulations. So. All right.
I gotta go off camera, but I'm gonna still be here.
Okay, that's cool. All right. Ebook raffle is coming to an end. Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times, because apparently it takes a minute for this to load.
Oh, awesome!
Awesome?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
it announced it in stream.
Oh, perfect timing. Cool. Okay. And here we are. We're closing the entries now. The winner is The Right Idea.
Yeah. Awesome! They're gonna be thrilled.
Congratulations. Send me a message on Discord. I will send you the links. Right? Or whisper me here. That will work too. Yay!
Yay!
So there you go. Now you can read it. Did the right idea sneak off and not know he won? Oh, that would be no good.
That would be no good. Right idea.
Så chattlig.
I'm on my Discord. Okay, yeah, let him know. I just want to make sure, right? I haven't used the rule that if you're not here, that you don't get it. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Good. I'm glad he's going to be able to be reached. That's great. Blew up his phone or blow up his phone. Yeah, you won. You won. Totally should. Is he on my Discord? I don't even
I
know.
believe he is.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna do it. Let's see here. Do. Yes, there he is. So, pinging.
I also have pinged.
Good. We're going to harass him. It's great. Okay. Okay, so that is it for me for today. Do you guys have anything that you would like to add before we sign off here and get ready for Aaron to get started, assuming he is still streaming today?
Oh, yes, actually, now that you mention it. I will be reading Hindsight Being 2020 on Saturday. On my own stream. From noon Pacific to whenever I am finished.
Awesome.
The right idea's back.
There. Yay!
Ooh.
Awesome. Okay, so yes, do I have any announcements? I have, if you guys would like to help me out in promoting A Few Good Elves, then I have a couple of things that you could consider doing for me. I have a press kit. It's on this page here. There is a link to a whole bunch of files that are on my Google Drive. Feel free to download any of them that you will find useful in promoting the book. There's also stuff there like little tweets you could send, suggested tweets at the bottom of the page. There's links to the YouTube video, right? There's links to the book on World Anvil. There's a link to the Amazon page. Whatever you might need should be there, right? If you would like to sign up... Ooh. Oh, hello! Hey, Bitzer K, welcome! Thank you very much for the raid. Your timing is, as usual, that we're finishing up, but that's cool. I'm glad to see you. How was your stream? It's a Bitzer Blitz! Yay!
Yay!
I love that raid call. It's cool. It went well. I'm glad to hear it. That's excellent. That's okay. Yes, so... Yeah, so there's the press package there if you're interested in that, and if you'd like me to send you some stuff directly that you can use to promote for whatever your personal format is that you prefer. I have a Google form, and I just, I'm just looking for your email address so I can send whatever you might want. If you want, let's see, I'm looking for the link here. This was an idea that Laura VAB had, and I'm like, that's a good idea. I should create this, like something similar. Promote a few good elves. Sign up here. There we go. I promise I won't spam you. I just asked for like name, email, what formats you want to promote it in, like what social media you might use, right? Whether or not you might, I will take my tablet and shove it in somebody's face on the bus, right? Whatever. Either way, it's helpful. So, yeah, just let me know and I'll make sure that you get the formats of that you need. Right. I don't have the TikTok video done yet. I'm going to do that when we get off the stream. So, because I wasn't sure what I was doing until right about now. And I don't use TikTok, so I had to think about it and go, okay, what do you need? I need a like vertical video is apparently what I need from my phone. So I can do that. So we will do that. Oh, and I use Facebook. That's great, because I am totally not on Facebook anymore at all. So anybody who's spreading the word to Facebook is doing me a big favor. Really appreciate it.
I will be spreading it on Facebook.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Last but not least, if you would like to follow when A Few Good Elves appears in other formats, you can find this link will take you to whatever links it is available at. It's books to read. That's books numeral2read.com/A Few Good Elves. And as more appear, right, where they're in different retailers, it will pick it up and you'll be able to access all of those retailers there from that one link. So if you guys aren't using that, you should be. Books to read you can get, and it's free. It's free. It costs you nothing. So I have Twitter, but I rarely use it. That's cool. Okay. I can tell Tumblr, Facebook, and Twitter. That's awesome. I have a Tumblr, but it's kind of like I send my blog posts to it, and that's it. So I'm not very active there. Red Idea says, I will do my best to share it around on Twitter, etc. We could always do that collab for my YouTube at some point as well if you ever want more marketing. I definitely do. Okay, so obviously there's still lots of time to promote. It doesn't all just have to be on release day. Since print versions aren't coming out for a couple weeks, and neither is the wide distribution, basically the whole month. Anytime during this month, or anytime after, but anytime during the whole month, it would be really helpful. The blog tour that I purchased, again due to email issues, is not starting until the 20th of September anyway. So that's when there'll be a big bunch of information. I'm also going to be submitting it to the new release newsletter at the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America, which now that I'm an official member, right, I can access. And so the deadline to submit to that is the 15th of September. So I imagine that won't be coming out until October 1st. So there's still lots of stuff to be done. So, if you want to share, it's always helpful. Yeah, just need to get my video editing software back so I can edit it all nice and figure out the whole video chat nonsense. I hear you there. Yeah. Eli, what about you? What have you got coming up here that, you've got the reading coming up. Do you have a press page set up yet? Do you need help with it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So maybe what we'll do for the 22nd, right? It was the 22nd, you said the release was, right?
22nd.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So maybe for the 22nd, if Basic Dragon can't make it, right? Because they have to work, right? I will try to get Shy Red Fox to come instead. I don't know. I haven't asked her yet at all, so this is like totally on the spot. Would you, but so I have no idea if she'll be able to do it. But she's the one to help me put my press kit together. So if I can get her, maybe we can go over how to make a press kit. And
that would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you need as well, Eli? Anything we can share around? Do you have anything people can share at this time?
Not at this time, probably in the next week or so.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye on it for that. If you're in my Discord, look in the self-promo channel. I'm sure Eli will post it there. I will also, of course, be sharing it on the channel, naturally. And Basic Dragon, do you have anything that you would like people to maybe help promote at this time?
Yeah, maybe my profile, because I will be writing a profile status update when I post the next Kickstarter in January. So I put it on this in the chat.
Yeah, that's another thing that we don't advertise as well as
Yeah.
we should, because it's a relatively new feature at World Anvil, is go follow our profiles if you want to know what we're doing.
Yeah. And I'll be be doing the Kickstarter in January for the last part in the Surviving Idol, and after that I will be playing with Blender and doing a coloring book.
Awesome. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
and also during November I'll be doing NaNoWriMo for a story in Brexhaven.
Yeah. Good night.
Nice.
The right idea.
Night, right idea.
Okay, are any of us not doing NaNoWriMo? Didn't think so. Anyway.
No.
Yeah. Guys doing Game of Tomes?
Yes, of course.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, my plan for Nano is to finish book 3. The rewrite and the edit. Yeah. What's your plans for Nano there, Eli?
At this point, the plan is to work on book 4. We'll see how that goes, since my plot for book 4 at this point is
Right. I don't know what I'm doing.
Not a clue. No.
Or like that. Have you guys seen writer Greg's midday marches on his YouTube channel yet?
No.
No, not yet.
So you can find him on YouTube under Writer Greg, and he's been live streaming to YouTube in the middle of the day. So starting at like about the same time we started this, 11 a.m. Pacific. And I love it because I don't make his morning marches. They're 4 o'clock in the morning for me. So, you know, it's something I can do. And he's got this this automatic voice, right, that says at the beginning of the start of the next sprint, you know, every now and then, because there's a few of them and they rotate. But this one says, "I don't know what I'm doing," and the other voice says, "Better start writing anyway." Nano in a nutshell. I love it.
Yep, basically.
Yeah. Bitzer can't do Nano because of bad wrists. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
Come do Game of Tomes with us because there's less pressure to write specific totals. But we can encourage
there
you.
There is an author who does voice to text, isn't it?
Yeah, voice to text.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of amazing stuff out there for that too. Right. Yeah, I know voice to text is a pain in the butt because I use lots of weird words. And so when you use voice to text, then you have to go back and edit later. But it still gets down, which it might not otherwise. Aaron used voice to text for a long time. He's got a right-handed Dvorak keyboard set up, he finds it faster generally to type, right? But when he's writing a lot, he will still go to voice to text sometimes. It's hard here because of the way, like, you can hear everything from a lot of the other rooms. The only room that isn't like that is this one because I can close the door, right? But so yeah, but when we're in the new house, right, odds are he'll have a door he can shut. So that will be very helpful. Yeah, and Greg uses voice to text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Spitzer will do Game of Tomes with us. That's great.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Speaking of Aaron, we should probably
get off of this so he can get started.
Yeah.
All right, thanks very much for joining us, everybody. I had a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you once again, Basic Dragon, Eli Quake, my good friends, awesome writers. Check out their stuff if you haven't already, and we will see you again on probably the 22nd, if not in our own streams. Bye. Where's the end screen? There it is.